You can easily carry the monitor by holding it here, and this whole thing is also made of metal. You can also fold it if you want to. So here's how easy it is to mount this monitor on a C-stand. It drops perfectly. I can see the C-stand spigot right there. And there you go. This can also move if you need to adjust it in case your V-mount battery extends out here. So you just pull it out and it will easily make the turn. This entire thing is made of metal, including this here. So here's the back of the monitor. It comes included with this cheese plate, which you can also choose to install here, 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 or there. And I already attached some shoe mounts right here, as you can see. It features 6 1/4-20-inch threads, 2 on top and 4 here, and also a 3/8 thread. Over here you have 3G SDI BNC ins and outs, a set of 2, and a single HDMI port, no HDMI outs. Over here is a USB-C for calibrating your monitor. This monitor features a software built inside. It comes pretty good out of the box, calibrated, but if you want to calibrate, you have to use a particular probe that this thing likes, and OC and B&H can definitely recommend you the right one. But I try to use this Datacolor Spider X Pro, which as you can see is a USB-A. I do have an adapter, but either it doesn't like the Spider X at all out of the monitor, or maybe the adapter is actually causing a problem here, right? So in this case, I didn't try this yet, but I'm assuming I can do it via the computer. All you need is a laptop, download the software. So one end goes on USB on your laptop, the other end from your laptop goes into the USB-C, and you will be able to calibrate. Again, I'm not sure if that's gonna work with the Spider X. And over here, the V-mount is simply a D-tap that you can actually disconnect and reconnect. It has nothing to do with the AC circuitry right here. And via DC, it accepts voltages from 11 to 17 volts. Most V-mount batteries, they have a maximum output of 16 point some volts. Now, I would not recommend you to power this on with the V-mount attached with this cable plugged in here, plus the AC plug. So choose which option do you want. If you want AC, remove the V-mount battery. If you want DC, remove the AC cable. And depending on what country you live, if you live in India, which is a 240 volts, you're covered. And if you live in the US and Brazil, which is the voltage is 100 to 110 volts, you're covered as well. This automatically switches to the proper voltage. Hopefully you can see this here. And OC advertises that this monitor consumes about 22 watts of power. And I found that it is actually, quite a bit more, depending on what kind of brightness you are, from the 1500 nits, which is number 10, I believe. So to access the menu, joystick down. Before, on the previous firmware, this used to be on the bottom, just so you know. And then you rotate the joystick, and then let's go to the brightness. And then, right now, I'm at brightness 0, and it's consuming about 14.5 watts. So let's crank it up to 10. Now it's consuming 34 watts of power, or 0.47 amps. I like my monitor indoors to brightness number 4. This is plenty for me, even 0, especially in a darker room like this here. So most situations, set it to 4. Now it's consuming 16.4 watts. So most of you guys know a V-mount battery, a gold mount battery, or even a Sony NP-F battery they go by watt hours, right? So to simply explain that, what is a watt hour? Let's say that your whatever device that you utilize with this battery is 100 watts, and you have a 100 watt V-mount battery, for example. The runtime is going to be exactly 1 hour because of the 100 watt hour. If you drop the device to 50% consumption, now you're running this for 2 hours, and at 25%, 4 hours, right? Makes sense? So let's crank this up to 10, which is the full 1500 nit brightness, and is now consuming 33.5 watts. And let's pretend this is a 99 watt V-mount battery. So 99 divided by 33.4 or 33.5, you can run this monitor for 2.9 hours. Now if you crank this down to like 4, now it's consuming 16.4 watts. So 99 divided by 16.4, you can run this monitor for about 6 hours. So obviously there's a power switch on the back, which means when you turn it off, regardless what you do with the front power button, the monitor is not going to turn on, right? But just so you know, I found that the V-mount connection is completely different than the AC connection. So the behavior is a little bit different. So as long as the battery is here, you can actually temporarily put the monitor on standby or screen off, but you didn't necessarily shut off the monitor. So if you leave your V-mount battery here, it's gonna drain to a state that, you know, you could damage your battery, right? Another thing that I want to measure here, for example, right now I have the monitor connected via AC. I want to see if there is any current flowing on the negative and positive terminals right here. So right now, nothing. So what if we do the other way around, to install the V-mount battery here and have the AC connected at the same time? That I can't tell because you're going to have to split the circuit here. So I highly recommend, because of what I just described, to power off the monitor, remove the AC cable, because I don't know what's going to happen if with this battery here plus the AC in on a board, right? Then you put your V-mount battery here, make sure this is disconnected. So I'm going to give you an example. The power now is off right here. When you try to turn on the monitor, it will not, because the power is off, right? Now turn it back on here, and then you can actually power the monitor. Okay, let's turn it off, and again, you cannot power it on. Now I'm going to show you what happens with the V-mount battery. That's what I mean. So now, when you actually turn it off, it's off. And then you can still power the monitor. Come on. There you go. Now, regardless if you do this here, it doesn't matter. Monitor is still on. Now, the good thing is you can actually temporarily shut off the monitor to save some V-mount battery power. You can turn it back on. See how quickly it turns on, because it's not off. So it's just screen off. So it's not off. So again, make sure you use the battery only and do not plug both at the same time. And the whole connection here is just a regular D-tap cable that you can actually unplug it. I'm not going to unplug it right now because I don't want to, you know, rough shut down the monitor. But, you know, it's just a regular V-mount thing with a D-tap with the XLR DC cable right here. And that's pretty much it. And again, we can actually move this fuse plate here, 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 or there. You can buy more from OC if you want. And if you want to use a fake little V-mount adapter with Sony NPF batteries, of course you can, as long as you don't exceed 17 volts. So it can be as little as 11 to 17 volts. And the AC is 100 to 240. So if you're in India, for example, which is a 220 volt country, this will automatically switch to the proper current without you changing anything here. When you go to United States or Brazil, you can actually run 110 volts. So right now I'm going to show you the monitor straight out, and then I'm going to turn it so you can see the viewing angle. It doesn't show on camera as good as, you know, in person, but you can see nothing really changes much. You can still see what's going on there. Trust me, when you are in person looking at this thing, I can see the whole color of this monitor, you know, probably like, you know, 85% this way. 100%, 85%. This is something that I don't accept if a monitor doesn't let me do that. This monitor lets you view pretty much like any angle. Overall construction, this monitor is pretty beefy and pretty heavy, and everything here is made of metal. The only thing plastic are the frames here. Everything else made entirely of metal.